What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Alex here with you, and today I will be previewing the Memorial Day weekend motorsports stuff going on. So, it's gonna be a pretty busy weekend. So, when you look at what's on tap, got the Formula One cars out in Monaco for their annual marquee event. Meanwhile, the Indy Cars series and the Indy Lights series, which is pretty much like the stepping stone for Indy cars, they'll be in Indianapolis Motor Speedway for their marquee events, and then the Arca Menard Series and NASCAR Xfinity and Cup Series will be down in Charlotte for the Coca-Cola 600 weekend. So as for the Formula One guys, this is a 69th edition of the Grand Prix of Monaco. So, like I said, they did run it 3 years in a row from 36 to 37. And then, then they didn't return back until 1950. And then, for a one off. And then they came back in 1955. And then been running every year since. So, now there were some times that Formula One did have Monaco as the season opener. But it hasn't been that way since 1966. So, like I said, when you look at how it's been scheduled, it's been placed as either the 6th or 7th race of a season, pretty much all but once since the start of the 2000 season. That was when it was the 5th race of the 2007 season. So, when you look at the last 16 when you look at how predictable these races can be, then like I said, 12 of the last 16 have won from pole, including 4 of the last 9. I've seen the winner go flag to flag. And when you look at at Sebastian Vettel and Lewis Hamilton, like I said, there's only 2 active drivers who have won multiple times in Monaco, and those 2 and Nico Rosberg, have combined to win 7 of 11. So you see here, Sebastian and Lewis combined to win 4 of 8. But then again, but then again, Rosberg won 3 straight, 2013, 2014, 2015. Take those out, it's been 4 of 8, basically twice the piece for Vettel and Hamilton. So looking at the schedule, you can see first practice. So for all you that are used to getting up super early in the morning, and so first practice will be at 5 a.m. Eastern on ESPN2. Second practice for all you other peeps, you can see that at 9 a.m. Eastern on ESPN2. And then you see third, so they'll be like the NASCAR guys, they'll have Friday off before they return to action on Saturday. Third practice for the Formula One guys will be 6 a.m. Eastern on ESPN2. They'll be on for an hour before they qualify at 9 a.m. Eastern on ESPN2. And then the race will be at 9 a.m. Eastern on ESPN. Now, we're going to go back over on this side of the big pond and going up to Indianapolis, where the Indy Lights guys will have their Freedom 100. So, now as for that race, saw 20 lead changes in a race, which was the first time in race history that even had double digits. And not only did it see a track record for lead changes, it also saw a track record for race pace. Now, that race averaged over 190 miles an hour, which, when you look at it from 100 miles, it was done in about 31 minutes. As for qualifying, that was actually not set last season, as it was set in 2017 when the pole speed was a 45.18. Now, when you look at track record for cautions, it's actually been set. The track record has been set 6 times. So pretty much, it's pretty much every odd number year. From 03 to 11, it'll set again in 2016. So and then out of those, the track record for caution laps was 22 in the 2011 race, and also last year's race was one of 2 to go caution free. Now, if you want to see this year's free 100, you can catch it live Friday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time on NBCSN. Now, as for the Indianapolis 500-mile race, when you look at the history of that one, the record for lead changes was 68, set back in 2013, won by Tony Kanaan, and also that race was the second of 7 in a row that I've seen 30 lead changes. After we hadn't seen 30 lead changes in a race in forever. Now, one thing that when I was doing the research, I originally thought that maybe Dan Weldon won. He does have 2 wins at Indy, but I always, when I was looking at the research, I always thought maybe he won. Yep, both of his wins had solid track records for lead changes, but there was one like way back when. For league changes. But yeah, like to kind of, it was one from way back when. I can't remember what year, but anyway, when it comes to race record time, like I said, that it was 187.433. Yeah, it's done in about 2 hours and 40 minutes. That was that 2013 race that saw the 68 lead changes. Now, as for track record qualifying speed, saw a 4-lap time of 2 minutes 35.063 seconds. I think that was like 2017 if I remember correctly. And then, like I said, Simon Pagenaud won the pole. For this year's race with a 4-lap time of 2 minutes 36.527 seconds. Then, when you look at their schedule, from here on out, they do have a 2-hour practice going on right now. Or, it'll probably start any minute. But anyway. But like I said, as for the rest of the week, they will have final practice Friday morning at 11. They'll have a quick practice right before the Indy Lights guys go on for their race. But the Pit Crew Challenge will be after the Indy Lights race on Friday. You can catch that at 1:30 Eastern on NBCSN on Friday before the race itself will be Sunday at noon on NBC. Now, down to Charlotte. So, now this is where the ARCA Menard series will be running along with the NASCAR guys. Now, as for the ARCA Menard series, some drivers use this series as their platform to Xfinity and Cup. So yes. Now, as for the 2018 race, that was the first time ARCA Menard series has been to Charlotte since 2004. Brandon Jones won last year. Ryan Hemphill won the 2004 race. Tim Steele won for the first 6 ARCA races at Charlotte, including each of the first 3. There also have been only 3 times that a winner started outside the top 7. So, to show how important qualifying is, or at least it was way back when. So, track record for qualifying speed was 183.805 miles an hour, set last year. That'd be the previous record by about 16 one-thousandths of a second. So, then also the worst start position by when it was 18th, back to the October race in 2003. Way back when there was another were running 2 races a year in Charlotte. One turned 600 weekend and another time in October. So, track record race speed was 123 miles an hour. Now, I know ARCA had said different race lengths for Charlotte, but if you were to set basically when you compare what it was back then to 150 miles, which is this year's length, that would be the 150 mile equivalent would be an hour 12. Like I said, an almost an hour 13 set back in the October race of 2001. Second fastest was off by about a tenth and a half. So you can catch this year's ARCA race Thursday at 9 Eastern, only on FS1. Okay, so now let's move on to the Xfinity series. So they'll be running next Saturday. Yeah, they'll be running on Saturday. which is pretty much the second tier series of the Cup Series. So when you look at their history, 16 of the last 19 races have been won from the top 9. After 5 of previous 6 have been won from outside the top 9. So yeah, then just I guess you can say the previous 6 were kind of like Talladega history, in which track position really doesn't matter. So, but however, the worst starting position by a winner was 33rd, set back in October '91 when Harry Gant won that race. Won it from back there. He was one of 4. Yeah, that race he was one of 4 times the winner started from outside the top 30. And then when you look at the track record qualifying time, it was a 28:76 at just over 187 miles an hour. So as for their schedule, like I was mentioned, it'll be just like the Formula One guys. Like I said, they'll have 2 practices Thursday, and then qualifying. Well, the only difference is qualifying and the race will be the same day. But yeah, like I said, you can catch first practice 4:00 Eastern on Thursday on FS1. Final practice at 6. They'll qualify Saturday morning at 9:30 before they go racing after 1 o'clock. Like I say, all that on FS1. And if I remember correctly, this weekend's Xfinity race at Charlotte will be the drivers only telecast that Fox has been doing recently. So yeah, so if I remember correctly, I think it's Harvick, Kevin Harvick, Clint Boyer, and then I want to say somebody else up in the booth. And then let's see, I think Bubba Wallace, Rick Stenhouse, and Eric Jones, if I remember correctly. Yeah, like I said, I can't remember. I can't remember exactly because I don't have the full lineup right in front of me. But yeah, like I said, if you tune in Saturday at 1 o'clock, you'll kind of see for yourself as to who the heck will be running. But what I do know is that it's going to be all active Cup drivers. So now, as for the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series, for the Coca-Cola 600. So basically, looking there, pretty much looking at the last 12 years, or the last 25 600s. Basically, if you're starting between the positions of 4th and 14th, your odds of winning are next to none. Because 22 of the last 25 winners have either been in the top 3 or outside the top 14. And also that includes 11 of the last 12. Jimmy Johnson does have the worst starting position by a 600 winner. That was 37th back in 2003. Now, qualifying time for the oval, track records is 27:35, and that was set for the for the fall race back before they changed over to a road course for last year's race. But like I said, Martin Truex Jr. 2 years ago, did set the race record for did set a bunch of 600 Coke 600 records, including most miles led in NASCAR history, most laps led by a 600 winner, and also for fastest 600 ever in about 3 hours, 44 minutes, and 4.96 seconds. Now, 11 cautions in last year's 600 were the most in the 600 by 2013. So, like I said, Kyle Busch, finally won a Charlotte race with last year's 600. And also another thing too, Kyle Larson won last year's won the All-Star race last week. He'll be looking to become the first driver since 2010 to win the All-Star race and the 600 in the same year. Kurt Busch was the last one to do it. And one thing I will say though, with the addition of the road course last year, nobody in NASCAR history won the 600, the All-Star race, and the Bank of America 500, which is the fall race, in the same year. So, but it'll be interesting to see if Larson becomes the first to win the All-Star race, the 600, and the road course race in the same year. So like I say, it will be interesting. So now, as for the schedule, I haven't actually seen the time yet as to when first practice will actually start, but I do know that you will see that at 3 p.m. Eastern on FS1, before it'll be right before the Xfinity cars go on track for their first practice. Qualifying will be at 7 on FS1 before they'll have second. They'll have Friday off like always. Second practice is at 8:30 on AM Eastern on FS1 before final practice at 11, and they'll go racing to 6 p.m. Eastern on Sunday. So yeah, guys. So there's your preview for the upcoming weekend. So just so you guys know, coming up later this week, I should have a preview of the NCAA Women's College World Series Super Regionals, and we'll be previewing the French Open Tennis Tournament, which is scheduled to start next week. So yeah, guys, if y'all haven't already, don't forget to smash that big old thumbs up, and don't forget to smash that big old red button that you see down below. Also, don't forget to share the video, comment your thoughts, and join the Discord. So it's your boy Alex here, signing off. Have a good night, everyone.